third part?
Yes, sir. The third part really relates to states' rights, and I am a states' rights advocate as well. I believe that was what the framers of the Constitution intended. But with respect to the H.R. 2520 and H.R. 3400 that you mentioned in your newsletter,
Yeah.
could you give some details about those and compare and contrast?
I don't know them by the numbers, ma'am. Can you just, there's about 3,000 bills introduced in it.
I'm sorry, it's the Patient's Choice, the 2520 is the Patient's Choice Act authored by Representative Paul Ryan of Wisconsin, and 3400 is the Empowering Patients First Act authored by Representative Tom Price, a Democrat of Georgia.
Both of those are health care reform plans that take a very pro-business, proactive, free enterprise approach. And they will never be heard in committee. And while I've sponsored them and think that's the way we ought to go about it, I'm afraid that we'll never get a fair hearing. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Marchant, I'm in the Texas Health Risk Pool. Okay, $700 a month.
Okay.
My husband, between his Medicare Part D, which we have to have, and his Medicare Part B, and his supplemental, which picks up everything that Medicare doesn't pick up, it's $1,000 a month. So, I mean, I would like health reform, but I am in no way interested in what Obama has to offer. And I've listened and listened and listened, and all he wants, this is a government takeover, a single-payer system is what he wants. And it's not worked in Canada, and it's not worked anywhere. Now, I have been a caregiver for my mom and my dad and my husband's sister, who all had cancer, and it would break my heart to know that they had no hope and would be sent home to be given a pain pill because they couldn't pay for it. And I'm going to tell you, my husband asked a doctor that he goes to about this stuff. And he should have never asked him because we didn't like the answer. And this doctor, Dick went to him for kidney stones. And Dick had to be operated on because he couldn't pass the kidney stones.
I passed the kidney stones.
Yeah, they're very, very painful. And he's had bypass surgery, so I think the amount of pain he's in is not good for his heart either. All right, so he asked this doctor how he felt about the socialized medicine. He said, well, this free market system hasn't worked. And Dick said, well, what are you talking about? He said, well, like your kidney, they probably wouldn't have let me done your kidney stone operation. They'd have just sent you home with pain pills. Well, who wants to be, our older people, and I'm not on Medicare yet, but our older people do not need this type. These are people that have fought for this country, people that have put in, and as they said today, Medicare has been paid for 44 years by these people. I mean, it's been something that's been taken out of their checks. It's not a free ride. And one of the things, there's a bunch of things in this healthcare program that scares me. But this redistribution of wealth, which is a big Obama thing, they're talking about a health insurance plan that's got a card that's got your bank account numbers on it. See, that scares me too. And I don't know, I've always been a Republican. And I'm not sure, I don't agree with the Republicans all the time now, you know? And I'm going to tell you something I appreciate, because I send in, I email to you a lot, and you're always very responsive to me. John Cornyn is very responsive. Kay Bailey Hutchison is not that responsive. Okay? So, just Americans, and I don't like it, and I'm very political. I called ARC the other day and canceled our membership, and I told them, I said,
I hope you still get the discount.
No.
Save that card.
My parents have passed on, but I told the man at ARC, I said, my parents asked me in the 90s, why would you even take out that card? They're such a liberal organization. And I said, but you're selling the seniors down the river. And he said, oh, no, we've read the bills. And I said, well, you know what? You may not sponsor any of them because there's no bill yet. But I said, you should be out warning the seniors about what is in this bill.
I think that they're beginning to reassess it. Thank you. That was well said. Thank you.
Thank you. I've been called out pretty loud, so I don't think I need a mic.
I can hear you.
Thanks for coming here tonight. Certainly appreciate it. Aside from this guy's comments about constitutionality and having the rights to be in the business of business instead of just the business of government, I have a question about when we look at the $76 trillion that we're unfunded for various programs, talking about, and you name it, pick any program, and none of them are solved.
None of them are solved.
You guys run, not you personally,
The FDIC fund, I believe.
your
so.
crew runs Ponzi schemes that would make Bernie Madoff blush. Would anybody in this room give their money to Bernie Madoff right now? So why do you think that the government that runs with the financial acumen that they have, or lack, and has the efficiency of FEMA in New Orleans, and has the compassion of the IRS, do you really want these people making any decisions in your health care?
No.
Unless anything else in your life?
No.
They don't have the incentive of a profit motive to do things well. This guy is accountable to us, but the 9 billion bureaucrats that are going to operate this program for perpetuity are not going to be accountable to you. They're going to get paid the same 5 or 6 figure salary whether you live or die or your kids are broke trying to pay your bills.
Hi, Ms. Fishburne. And I'm going to let the lady behind you speak after you speak.
Hello, Congressman. You and I met this morning, and I really appreciate the time that you gave me. It was very informative. One of the things that you mentioned to us when we talked this morning was that you are not a zero funder, and that you believe that it is time for health care reform. Perhaps there's many things in the bill that you do not agree with. But one of the things you mentioned that I found very interesting is that what you described to me that you would prefer is a bill that would have something rather like the S-chip, where it's basically funded partly by the federal government, funded by the states, and then administered by the state.
On
And
a
I was
sliding
hoping-
scale, like
and
it's
I was
trying to
hoping,
describe.
and I was hoping you might expound on that more tonight because we didn't have that much time today.
Yeah. Well, that was what I was trying to explain to these two ladies. I think in my opinion, doing healthcare reform, you begin with the core 15 million people. And you do that by setting up statewide co-ops. You let private insurance companies bid on those co-ops, and then you allow people that have no access to other health care. If you qualify for Medicaid or Medicare, you don't qualify for this. If you are employed and your employer offers you, there will be several reasons why you can't access it, but there's about 15 million people that can access it, and then the government at that point will assess the fees, and then on a sliding scale you can participate like a risk pool, but it has a broader base to it so that you don't concentrate all the sick people and all the high-cost patients in one deal, and you can spread it out, and then you can pay for a plan like that, I believe, with about $100 billion, and I believe that can be funded by the insurance companies, the rich fat cat insurance companies. So that's in a nutshell.